Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to Dyson Sphere Program. This is going to be a new series on the channel. Dyson Sphere Program is a lot like Factorio, but it is on a different scale. Whereas Factorio has you build a rocket so you can escape from the planet, Dyson Sphere Program is working on a much more ambitious scale. Because we are going to be building a Dyson Sphere. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, you can sort of see it in the background here as the main menu shows you a little bit of what we're building. A Dyson Sphere is a sphere that is built around a star to capture as much of the energy as possible. So, our aim of this project is to encapsulate a star. Now, for that, we will not have enough if we just build stuff and start mining resources on one planet. No, we're going to be needing something much larger. So let me start up a new game and show you what that is like. The way that this game works is you can start on pretty much any different planet. And this is a cluster seed. I'm currently on 2829, 1798. You can play along with that if you would like. There are 64 stars. And in case you're wondering, yes, that means that I believe I can visit all of them. So, whereas in Factorio you only have one, right now I have 64 stars with a number of planets surrounding that. So, let's start the game. Here we are, in our little spaceship, on the way to our objective.
Welcome to the actual universe. You may find it's different from our homeland. Should you be able to adapt to the laws of physics in a short time, I am your advisor and will help you through this mission. Everything here is yours. As one of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere program, you will explore this cluster step by step. By using the resources here to construct the Dyson Sphere to provide energy for the CentreBrain to maintain homeland, starting from scratch. I have chosen a designated planet for you to start the mission, which has necessary resources for initial development. Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
Now, as the guy over on the top right hand side has informed me, all of this, what we can see, is part of the game. All of these stars are actually accessible. We're currently heading for Lambda Piscium 3, and this is a planet where we can start building our initial base.
To reach the designated planet.
Now, I don't have to control much of anything. The game is just going to allow me to land automatically. And there we are. That's me.
A lightweight industrial metal with powerful functionality. You can use the arrow keys or right-click on the destination to control its movement. In this mission, you will manipulate Icarus to travel beyond the stars and create miracles.
Create miracles indeed.
To collect resources such as trees, gravel, etc. In the meantime, hold down Shift and right-click to give a series of commands.
Now, I'm going to show you a bit of what we have on the screen. You can temporarily go away, ideally. Nope, sorry, not yet. What we have over here are resources. This is copper. Now, these are 12 copper veins, and this means that there's a lot of resources in here. Over here, we have iron, if I got it right.
Or slide the mouse wheel to zoom in and out.
And over there we have stone. I'm still getting the hang of the resources, so I probably haven't encountered all of them yet. I've played the game a bit just to see if it's any good, and I really like it so far. Now, our objective is to start building some of the parts that we need, but we're first going to have to play through the tutorial as it's baked into the game. The game, as you can probably see, is in early access, or at least it's set that down below on the bottom left half of the main menu. And that means that stuff in the game will probably change. So by the time that you might be playing this game, it might have changed. Now, the tech tree allows you to get a ton of technologies, and with that, more buildings. And eventually, we end up over here with mission completed. So we're going to take a long time to get there. And that's just the technologies tree. We also have upgrades, and that's upgrades to the mech that we're currently using. These two span quite far and quite long. So if you're a fan of tech trees, then you should feel right at home. Anyway, let's go and mine some resources.
Yet you have not unlocked the construction menu, which will be done automatically when complete any technology research. Click the technology tree button at the bottom right of the screen to open the technology tree.
Okay, now they want me to open the tech tree. Universe exploration. Able to view veins distributed on the planet. This is quite useful, but it requires a resource that I still have to make. Or rather, I can make it, but I first want to get some automated building up. So we're first going to go for electromagnetism, allowing me to start generating power. In order to do that, I will need magnets, or magnetic coils, which can be made using the replicator over here. The replicator allows you to build either components or buildings, or potentially some more stuff, seeing as they still have a lot of room over here. And if I want to build a magnetic coil, I can build 5 of those right now, so I don't have enough. And that's because while I have a decent amount of copper at this point, I have 65 copper ore, so that should be enough for a while, I also will need some magnets, which are built out of iron ore. Now, first, let's see if I can automate something. No, not yet. Okay, so we have to get some iron ore. That's over here. And pretty much like Factorio, initially you're going to have to do a bit of manual mining. Because right now I don't have the automated system set up yet. But I will soon. Because now I can start building these magnetic coils. And I'm going to need 10 of those. So build 10. And the game over here shows you how many you can build. So I could build 17, but I only need 10. And by doing this, it's first going to make magnets out of iron ore, and then make electromagnetic coils? Magnetic coils. So it first builds these, and then since you produce 2, I effectively will get 20. Which is perfect, because over time I will need a lot more of those things.
Energy is required in all mecha activities. If it is depleted, the activities will be restricted. You can click the mecha panel button at the bottom right of the screen to open the mecha panel and resupply fuel into the fuel chamber.
Now this is rather important. Your mech or mecha has a fuel reserve. If you run out, you're going to be in trouble.
Pick it up from the inventory or select it on gathering of construction menu to build.
Now this is a different tutorial. I'm going to be able to drag over some of these hydrogen fuel rods to the fuel chamber to ensure that I still have enough power. And by doing this over here in the bottom of the screen, you can see that my core energy is going back up. It requires energy to move, gather, and construct. And I can put various different fuel sources in the mech. I can use coal, I can use these fuel rods, I can burn trees. I have options. Now, the first thing that I want to do is start setting up some gathering systems. So we're going to build a mining machine here. And with this, I can get a fairly decent amount of iron ore automatically mined.
The more veins covered, the faster the ores will be gathered. If you want to ignore grid snapping, try holding down the shift key.
Unfortunately, we don't have any power. So let's set up... Yes, I know I can do that now. Let's set up a wind turbine, allowing power for this particular construction.
Wind turbine. You have established your first power grid. Not all power facilities has its power.
There we go.
Use the Tesla tower to extend the area of the power grid.
And now this one is automatically mining iron far faster than I ever could.
Tesla tower. It can carry out short-distance wireless power transmission and expand the power supply area of the power grid. click on it to view the current power grid information.
Yes, the current power grid information is clicked or is found by clicking on a Tesla tower. So I can generate 300 kilowatts. I'm currently using 24, and that means that the power requirements are 100% satisfied. Now I want to do something similar for the copper that I found earlier. It's really dark here. Is that the copper? No, that's stone. Here's the copper. If you want to build something quickly, you go to gathering, or rather any building, and if you can build it, you click it once. If you cannot build it, you double click it, and the building automatically gets selected in the replicator, allowing you to very quickly make more of what you need, provided of course that you have the resources. I'm going to build another mining machine, and that means that automatically all the required parts get built. And of course later on you can automate this even more. So let's rotate this thing, ensuring that it has a fairly decent grasp. This is 135, 129, 162. There. But it doesn't have any power. So power menu, build another wind turbine. I'm going to take 3. And I'll take another wind turbine and build 1. And now I can both extend my power lines and at the same time build another over here, another wind turbine. 1 here and 1 here. Once they get built, this thing also has power. So now I'm automatically mining iron ore and copper ore. And if I want to get it, I can just click this and it automatically transfers it to my own inventory. Great. But there is still a lot to be done. Because what I need to do now is ensure that this gets turned into, well, several different resources really. What I need to do is ensure that it gets sent to a smelter. And just to show you a bit more of the scale, this is the planet. This is what I've just constructed, but there is so much more to build and to explore, and that's just one planet.
And hold down the right mouse button. Drag to world angle of view. Press N key to point to the front to the North Pole. In the planet view mode, slide the mouse wheel to enter the star map mode.
Here we go, star map mode. We're currently on 1 satellite. This is where Icarus is. Icarus is my mech. That's orbiting a ice giant. And that's orbiting the Lambda Piscium star. But that's not all. Because all of these stars can be visited. So we have a lot of work ahead of us in order to complete the entire project. Now this does not mean that I'm going to be doing absolutely everything, because that would be a bit much. But I will make, let's say, highlights of what I have been up to. Now where was I building stuff? Here. Where's my little mech? Here we are. Alright, smelters. In order to build smelters, I'm going to have to do some researching. I need to get basic metallurgy. That's going to allow the smelter and also to build glass. In order to do that, 10 magnetic coils and 10 circuit boards. Activate. I don't have any of those, so it's over to the fabricator again. Or sorry, the replicator. And I would like 10 of these. And then another 10 magnetic coils. The magnetic coils that I had extra were being used up for production of, well, various of the buildings that I have constructed. Ranging from the Tesla tower to the wind turbine to yet another harvester. Another mining machine. So once these get produced, I can automatically get the research done. And in the meanwhile, let's take down some trees here, which can also serve as fuel. And at the same time allow for some more construction room, because I will need quite a bit of that. The game's graphics are something that I had to get used to a little bit. It's not really my natural preferred style. It's, I don't know, it's somewhat arcadey, I guess. but the game definitely has depth. It's not like it's completely arcade. It really has a lot of depth, especially with the tech tree, especially with the logistics. And those of you who know Factorio probably know how to build something like a central bus, which is a term that's used in Factorio to inform or to discuss what the central flow of resources like iron and copper, and of course various other resources in this game, is going to be to ensure that everything in your construction grid gets what it requires. It ensures that, for example, iron gets turned into the resources that you need. Alright, we're now almost done with the research. Let's clear this area up. One more and we're done. There we go. Automatic metallurgy is done, allowing me to build the smelter. Smelter turns iron ore and copper ore and various other ores into the next tier of resource, which will be ingots. One more, another one there. Let's get that stone out of the way and some small bushes here. That should give me enough room to start building or potentially multiple smelters here. In the meanwhile, the next research is going to be the basic logistics system, which, again, for Factorio people, the conveyor belts. Really nice to get those. So, what we require, 10 circuit boards, which I have, and 10 of these. Let's set a production, I need 10, and off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I've played Factorio a bit, so I'm familiar with the basics of the game, but I'm by no means a star in it. And nor am I a star in this game because I just haven't played it that much yet. But I do want to show you guys and just sort of learn alongside with you. Because as you watch the game, you don't have to play the game, but you can still probably have ideas on what I can improve. Alright, we're going to have a smelter over, let's see, conveyor belts. Ah, the conveyor belts are done. Excellent. I can now build the conveyor belts.
You have received this order.
We're going to start here.
Which can achieve full automation. Use the conveyor belt to transport the piled up ores from the mining machine.
Here comes the iron ore.
Can deliver the ores from the conveyor belt to the smelter for automatic smelting.
And we're going to put a smelter down.
All you need to do is determine the starting point and the end point of it. In addition, use the up arrow key to lift up one level, and use the down arrow key to drop down one level after the conveyor belt is lifted. Press keypad.
Yes, let me show you about that. In Factorio, you effectively only have one dimension, ground level, as far as I understand it, or actually, and tunnels. But here, I can build my conveyor system up, and I can go over obstacles. So that's going to allow you a lot more freedom. And now I need to make sure it gets into the building, and you do that with a sorter mark 1. And of course, later on, these can be improved to different things. Oh crap, it's the copper one that I have over here. Resource, I'm going to build a different recipe, that one. There we go, and now we're using the copper ore which gets provided and turn that into copper ingots. Now I want another one over here to ensure that I have the same system set up for my iron. It's going to come out of this side. And it really doesn't need to go too far, but I might need to build more smelters to speed up the process a bit. And I can take the sorter and extend it to there. Set the recipe for this one to be iron ingots. And that is now going to start turning these things into iron ingots, so I don't have to build those myself anymore. New research. Electromagnetic matrix unlocks the research or the building of the electromagnetic matrix, which is one of the 5 basic resource nodes that keep the CentreBrain simulating. Now the CentreBrain is the thing that we eventually have to feed, if you will. It's the thing that we need to keep going, and that's why we need the Dyson sphere in the first place. These things unlock research of everything else. If I want to do this one, I have to get electromagnetic matrix. So this one, as the game also says, is part of the main quest. So, get 10 magnets, check, and now to get 10 circuit boards. Building circuit boards again. They build 2, so I only have to build 5 of these. And now the resources are here, but they're not really being put anywhere. So what I can do is, at some point, turn these either into a main bus, so have a couple of conveyor belts going to any particular point, or I can ensure that I have them sent to storage. For now though, I think it's more of a priority to get some more power, because it seems like I'm not quite generating enough. Depending on whether these things are active or not, I'm not quite getting to 100% power satisfaction. So let's build a few more of these and ensure that I have a bit more power. In the meanwhile, the research is progressing and complete. Electromagnetic matrix. Allows me to build the matrix lab, which is the thing that then produces the electromagnetic matrix. This one requires quite a few resources to build, and these things require resources to turn or to automatically get produced. So, in order to get this, I would ideally set up an automated build system, or an automated production system, which is going to take some time. So another wind turbine up, and another wind turbine not too close, needs foundation here. Now, first up, set up another smelter, because we're probably going to need a lot of iron. And that's when my conveyor belts ran out. So, build me some new conveyor belts. Building 1 effectively makes 3. So let's make 10 and effectively get 30. And I'll take these things. This one's going to be using iron ore to make iron. Or iron ingots, rather. Oh, and I will have to keep an eye on my power. What I can simply do is throw in plant fuel, but it doesn't generate that much energy, unfortunately. It's not that great. Over here, I'll take the copper ingots to further my production. And what I would also really like to get is the improved logistics system. For this, I will need 100 electromagnetic matrices. So there is a lot to build here. Maybe the other one that is a bit easier to do is basic assembly processes. And this will allow you to build the assembling machine 1, which starts to grasp or grab resources and then builds those into, well, whatever you need, effectively. And from here to there. And then set up another conveyor belt here that distributes the finished product. From here to there, and from here to here. This thing goes this way. There we go. Oh, this sorter doesn't have any power. Let's ensure that I get a Tesla tower built, for which I don't have the resources, because I don't have enough magnets. So I'll have to get some magnets. You know what? I can temporarily change this one and turn this one into magnets, which also require simple iron ore. But, of course, that doesn't work. Let's see. Let's just grab some iron. Just some raw iron at that, because then I can build the magnets myself. So we're going to build the... Where are you? Tesla tower. Now I can build them. Quite a few of them, in fact. Set that thing up over there. And there we go. This one is now going to be building magnets. It's only temporary until I can set up a more permanent system. Or something at least a while. Well, it's going to be more efficient, shall we say. In the meanwhile, let's start to produce the resources that I need to get the manual research complete. So we're going to be building another 5 circuit boards. And 10, effectively 5 times the production, to ensure that I can build the basic assemblers. Oh, sorry, I'm building the wrong thing. I should be building these. 10 of these. Alright, I'll take this. I'll take those 100. And over here we have a lot of copper. I still have a decent amount. 126. So yeah, that should be fine. I probably don't need any more copper at this point. Now this one's almost complete. The next tech that I want to unlock, high efficiency plasma control, requires the research for requires electromagnetic processes, matrices. So stuff like this I probably don't need just yet. Alright, that one's done. Now as the final part of this video, I'm temporarily going to set up a system with which I can now build some of these things automatically. So we're going to build a few more assembling machines, and I'm going to need quite a few more assembly belts, or transport belts. What do I need to do? A few things. I want to set up one of these labs. I'm just going to plunk that down here for now. What I need to do with this one is build the electromagnetic matrix.
Super matrices, or research technologies that require them to unlock. The super matrices are the source code of the CentreBrain for maintaining weapons. You can upload as many super matrices to the CentreBrain as possible. You can be benefit to unlock more actual world technologies by operating the home world simultaneously.
Oh, I don't have enough sorters, so let's build a few of those. This thing is going to require the magnetic coil and the circuit board. So I need to join together iron ingots and copper ingots to ensure that I can build some circuit boards. So let's first start with getting the iron and the copper together. This one's going to come out of here and then get looped back. There's probably a fairly circuitous way of doing it, but so be it. I'm still learning the game. I want to do this from here to there. And now finished stuff gets automatically delivered onto the conveyor belt. Still gotta build the stuff here. Conveyor belts are coming up. There we go. We also have, of course, some magnets, and I don't want those to get thrown onto the belt just yet. So let's take some of this stuff here. We need to sort out the magnets. There we go. Now this one, let's remove that from there. What do I need? I need to bring this stuff fairly close. Yeah, that should be doable. And then from here to there. This thing is going to be building the circuit boards for me. So it's going to require one copper. And it's going to require some iron ore. Oh, sorry, some iron plating. Built me a... Whoops, that's a few too many. That's a few too many. What I'm running low on is iron, so I can temporarily just grab some of these. Iron ingots. Ensure this one goes a bit longer. And then turns that way. And this one I can now build over. And then back down. Like that. So I still sort of have my main bus up until the point where I get sorters, which right now I don't have yet. Here we go. This is going to set up what it requires, but power would be nice to have. Otherwise none of this stuff works. What I really like about the game right now is the ability to just double click what you need. Factorio, as far as I know, doesn't have that. And that makes it a bit more tedious. Now this thing requires the circuit boards and magnetic coils, which will require magnets and copper. So let's bring those things together and ensure that they join up somewhere. Yeah, you're gonna go... Actually... I'm gonna do this thing semi-automatically. So what I'll do is throw in the circuit boards. So I'm going to take those and bring the circuit boards here. And then make the magnets myself. And just ensure that it has power. Which probably at this point is... yeah, it's not quite enough. I'm going to take 2 more Tesla towers. And then start building some of these, because I'll need quite a lot of those. Let's set up another wind turbine here. Again, all of this stuff is probably going to change, because I'm probably going to make this thing far more efficient than what it currently is. But for now, with the limited assets that I have, I can't really do that much. I really sort of have to work with the stuff that I can currently get. What I could, however, do, at least temporarily, is build an assembly machine and turn that thing into building these things for me, magnetic coils. Throw in the magnets, more magnets, and throw in that. And just ensure that it has some power. Just right there in the middle. And now I'm going to be building the magnets automatically and the circuit boards, so I can ensure that this thing will get the resources that it requires. I currently still need to do 92 more, so it's going to be a while. Now, we're a little while later. I have set up some very small temporary conveyor belts running from the magnet facility here, the coil magnetic coil, and the one that produces the circuit boards, to automatically bring those over to the matrix lab. The matrix lab then spits out these, well, matrices, I suppose, and drops them off in the storage facility, where I ensure that I don't always have to empty out the matrix lab, because at 10 it's full. And at 10 it's just going to stop producing. So this storage is going to continuously harvest more and more and more. It's not an automated production line just yet, but we'll get to that once we have that automatic sorting, or that improved logistics system available. So, that is a very quick, brief overview of what this game is about. Dyson Sphere program, I quite like it so far. A lot of depth, as I have mentioned. It is early access. I believe it's 16, 17 bucks, or local equivalent. It's really not that expensive, and I suspect that they're going to be adding a lot more stuff to it in the future. For now, this is it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to set this thing up a bit more, shall we say, efficiently, and unlock more of the tech tree. I hope you guys are enjoying what you see. Link down below in the description, and I hope to see you for the next part, up probably either tomorrow or the day after. See you then.